you're anything like me, you are a reverb fanatic. Your friends probably tell you should dial it back a bit, but of course we ignore it. Reverb is just a very useful and very fun tool to use, especially if you just want to relax. You can get that ambient soundscape thing and just escape for a little while. Now there's a lot of different types of reverb pedals. There's very intricate ones and there's very, very simple ones. And the Immerse from New Neighbor Audio from Quilter Labs is a simple yet perfect reverb for any reverb lover. And in this video, we're going to dive deep into it and its 8 stellar reverb sounds. Let's dive right in. If you end up enjoying this demo, make sure to check out my other gear demo videos and subscribe to see when I post more. Now, like I said, there are 2 types of reverbs, very simple and then very advanced, intricate, very detailed. If you're looking for a much more advanced reverb, I would check out the Lumen, also by New Neighbor from Quilter Labs. It has a lot of advanced functionality. There's literally so much you can do with it. There are so many sounds. It is a lot. It sounds great. One of my favorite reverb pedals. I did demo that about a year or so ago. I'll link that up here or down in the description below for you to check out. Now the Immerse is a much more simple reverb that can still provide a versatile range of reverb effects, so let's go over it. So starting off, we have 5 different knobs. The top 2 are a mix and depth knob, pretty standard on a reverb pedal. The knob in the middle lets us go through each of the 8 reverbs. So starting from the right side of this pedal, we have wet, then plate, hall, spring, sustain, echo, tune, and shimmer. Now you're gonna hear all those reverbs and what they do in just a second, but now the bottom 2 knobs are what really make this pedal as versatile as it is. The bottom left is a time and tone knob, and the one on the right is actually a pre-delay, modulation, and a blend control. Now, as you can see, this is sort of color coordinated. We have black, brown, and just tan, let's just say. Now the tan only goes to the wet and the plate. And as you can see down here, the tan is only pre-delay. So when we're on either wet or plate, this controls the pre-delay of those reverbs. Now for hall, spring, and sustain, which is the brown setting, we can control modulation with this knob now. And then for shimmer, tune, and echo, this is a blend control. Now that's not the case for only this right knob. We also have this versatility with the time and tone knob. This knob is a tone knob for all of the reverbs except for sustain and echo. You can sort of see that line that's boxing in both echo and sustain. So when we're playing with sustain and echo, this knob controls the time. And then for all the other reverbs, this is a tone knob. So if we want our reverbs to sound a lot darker, that's all the way down. And if we want it a lot brighter, then that's gonna go all the way up. I'm also gonna give you some sound demos of those 2 knobs in action as well, so stick around for that. Now, a few other features is that it's buffered bypass. It's just really great to have a buffer at the end of your signal chain. And it has an analog dry signal. And the reason for this is for low noise and 0 latency. Obviously has a foot switch, an engage light to see when the pedal is on and off. Obviously runs in stereo. We have a kill dry switch and also a trail switch. And it's pretty compact. It's about the same size as my stolen Denny's mug. Thanks, Denny's. Sponsored by Denny's. They should actually make a Denny's mug guitar pedal. I'm gonna look into that. All right, so now that we know what's going on with this pedal, let's now listen to all 8 of those reverbs. The mix and depth knob are just standard on reverb pedals. The mix basically just adjusts how much reverb you want. All the way off is obviously no reverb at all, and all the way up is gonna be just the reverb sound. And in the middle will be half of your guitar sound, half of the reverb sound, and you get it. And the depth just adjusts how long you want that reverb to go on for, how big you want it to sound, how long you want that tail to go on for. So all the way off, no reverb tail at all the way up, it's gonna go on forever. Now the two bottom knobs do an assortment of different things. Let's actually give this an in-depth lesson so we can really hear what it does. as simple as it is to use, the reverbs are very tasty and unique to this pedal. And a lot of that has to do with those two bottom knobs to add a bunch of different flair to those different reverbs. It's also really small and compact, so it won't take up a lot of room on your pedal board. This actually replaced the golden reverberator that was recently on my board because I didn't have a lot of room. I was working with a smaller board, and then this ended up taking its place. So this pedal is for someone looking for a simple yet very effective reverb that gives you a ton of different reverb sounds, and you can adjust those sounds on top of that as well. You could use it for a simple, slightly dialed in plate sound, or you could go to the end of the universe with its very soundscapey and ethereal sounds. Overall, this is a great reverb for anyone except those looking for a much more intuitive and, I guess, advanced reverb like the Lumen I mentioned earlier. Like tons of different functionality, expression controls, things like that. So definitely check out my demo of that as well if you are interested. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Immerse down in the comments below, and thank you as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.